West Ham are through to the next round of the Carabao Cup after defeating Charlton at home 3-0. My name's Anton. Welcome back to Irons United. We've done a match day live. We've been in front of the camera for hours and hours and hours, and we're going to do a nice, short and sweet review for you. Beside me is Dan. Dan, you've done most of the match day live, and then below him is Richard, who came on a few times throughout the show. Guys, we're through. It's positive. It's momentum. Dan, what's your thoughts?
Good game. Good solid performance. Done well. Team played well together and players gel well together. Some good play, good passing, good possession. Took our chances well.
Yep.
Capitalised on them.
Absolutely. Richard, if you have a look at the starting 11, I mean, were you quite impressed with that? Were you happy with that? It's quite a strong one, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I was buzzing when I saw that starting 11. It was nice to see Moyes playing so many attacking players and really going for it against a side that we should be dominating. So it was really good. I was really impressed with Cullen holding down the fort. It was a big occasion for him, and I thought he really stood up to the plate really well. And hopefully it's a start of him getting a little bit more game time in a claret and blue shirt.
Yeah, it's really tough, and it's like, you know, we myself and you, Richard, we were talking off air tonight, and we were saying, like you said to me, do we think Cullen will get some more game time this season? I think he's done enough in what we've saw, actually, to be honest, but I don't know if he can move out any of that midfield that on paper would be a starting lineup. What's your thoughts, Dan?
That's the thing. We've got so many first-team players, midfielders. It's hard to choose who to actually play.
Yeah.
You know, Rice, you wouldn't drop. Solskjaer, you wouldn't drop. You'd want to play Anderson or Lanzini. You know, there's Bowen. There are so many good players. You know, it's such a struggle for the youngsters to get through.
Yeah.
As I was saying, we don't need to play them all. You know, we don't need to play the same four every game. There is a chance for other players or other teams of four to get through. But for the youngsters, you know, it is a struggle.
Yeah, I think it really is going to be, isn't it? It's like, you know, it's nice for West Ham to potentially, and for the fans to have something to celebrate. It's been I mean, it's been 3 or 4 weeks since we kind of finished off the season in a high from Project Restart. And I think it's really important that West Ham take a cup competition serious, Richard, isn't it?
Yeah, completely agree. I was just chatting to you the other night and saying, you know, it's difficult as West Ham fans to take positives for our Premier League campaign. I think we've all kind of consigned ourselves to the fact that it's going to be a struggle and we're going to be down the bottom. So why not give everything in the cup competitions, and hopefully if fans are allowed back into the stadiums in the future, we could see the Hammers get to Wembley. You know, it's been a really, really long time. So I would love for us to have a decent run in the cup just to give the fans something.
Absolutely. So what we do know is that obviously West Ham won 3-0, but in particular, Cullen was really the star of the 2 goals that Haller got in the brace. First goal, Dan, I mean, he gained the ball in the middle of the park. He looked up, he's seen a run from Yarmolenko, who penetrated the defence, and he pinpoint pass, perfect pass over the top of 4 or 5 Charlton defenders and found Yarmolenko, who then obviously squared the ball across the Haller to an open net to score the goal. I mean, that's a positive move by West Ham, is it not?
Beautiful bit of play from him. Just to look up, see the opportunity there, you know, and to start off the attack. You know, he's such a young age to see the forefront, the foresight to see where that could go, and to put the pass bang on Yarmolenko's foot. You know,
yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, and what do you think then, Richard? I mean, it's definitely going to do him the world of good, you know. But I mean, on top of that, we had maybe, you know, as you can see from the image on our thumbnail tonight, which is Lanzini, Snodgrass and Anderson. I mean, on top of Cullen, I mean, they did perform well, but we have to be respectful of the fact that, you know, we don't want to get too carried away. We were playing a League One opposition. But what did you rate Lanzini, Snoddy and Anderson?
Yeah, I thought they were all solid tonight. I think they put in a great shift. As you said, we are playing Charlton with all due respect to them, but it's important for the likes of Anderson, Lanzini, that they get a bit of confidence because they are, at the best of times, luxury players that almost need to be wrapped up. And when they're confident in playing well, they bring a lot to our side. So hopefully this is, although it's just a cup game, it's given them that little bit of confidence to hopefully go into the Arsenal game and put in a really solid performance. And obviously I was really impressed with Snoddy. Brilliant ball in for the second goal. He's got a brilliant left foot, and we know that, and it was just a peach of a ball in for Seb as well.
Absolutely. I mean, the second goal in particular, like you said, it was a really good bit of build-up play by West Ham in total, Dan, wasn't it? I mean, again, the whole possession play started from Cullen collecting the ball, feeding the ball out to the rest of the players who played a bit of ticky-tack football, as Richard says, but then put the ball onto Snoddy's foot, and who then found, of course, Haller for his second goal of the night. I mean, how important is that to give Haller time and goals?
Yeah, I mean, we've always said, or everyone's always said, Haller needs someone to give him the ball. You know, it needs to be on his head. It needs to be on his foot. You need to deliver him them balls for him to score. And the build-up play for that to go along, beautiful ball by Snodgrass. You know, all he had to do was just lean into it. You know, it was brilliant. The confidence that the guy's going to get from scoring 2 goals tonight, and knowing there's players around him that can give him those balls to do what he needs to do and to do his job. You know, there must be immense pressure on him. And for how he's been recently, and then to just go in tonight and get 2, I feel good for the guy.
Do you think Richard? Do you think it gives Moyes problems moving into Saturday? I mean, again, let's respect Charlton, but you know, players have performed. There was an element of pre-season about tonight's game. That's the way I kind of felt. It did feel a little bit pre-seasony, given a really strong, potentially strong starting lineup, an opportunity to go and impress. I mean, it's going to give Moyes decisions to make, especially after the performance against Newcastle.
Yeah, definitely. I think what hopefully Moyes has learned from this game is that he doesn't have to play 3 centre midfielders. He can play 1 or 2, and he needs to be more attacking and more forward-minded. And I hope that Seb's done enough tonight and in pre-season to force his way into the starting lineup against Arsenal, because I think we need to be playing an out-and-out striker in the Premier League. We can't be relying on Antonio. In saying that, though, if we're going to play Seb, we've got to play players in and around him that are going to give him the service, as Dan said, because there's no point playing him up top alone where he's isolated and he's ineffective. But I really hope that Moyes has learned that he simply cannot go into games playing midfielders and expect to get something.
You've gone really quiet there, Richard. While he's doing that, Dan, let's get back into a bit of the defence. You know, a lot of people talking about the Creswell and Masuaku problems. You know, Creswell, Masuaku. You're in one camp or the other, but you can only really let people know how Masuaku performed tonight and in tonight's game. What was your thoughts on Masu? King Arthur, as they call him.
Yeah, tonight he played really well. So I was going to say, you're talking about how Lanzini, Anderson and Snodgrass linked up. Masuaku was part of that link. There was 4 players there playing off each other, making runs, pushing forward. And he was part of that. Like I said during the live feed, it's not really what you want from a defender as much.
Yeah. Because
sometimes he goes a bit too far forward. But as far as his technical ability and reading the game today, he done really well. And going from this conversation, last one we had with Richard, I'd think with Arsenal, maybe playing 5 at the back and playing wing backs with Arthur, and then maybe playing either Lanzini or Anderson in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Richard, I don't know if you can hear us. Can we hear you? Let's test it.
I can hear you guys. No. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I've got you now. We've got you now.
Okay, good. Yeah, I can hear you guys all good.
We're talking about King Arthur and maybe the link-up play with him and Anderson down the left-hand side. I mean, I know there's 2 camps. I know your team Creswell, your team Masuaku, but at the end of the day, tonight's performance, he did perform well, and his link-up play with Anderson was good. Yeah,
absolutely. I'd like to see him start the Arsenal game. I know people might think that I'm jumping in here, but I just genuinely believe that right now he offers us more than Creswell does. And you make a good point. There were times when he was linking up with Anderson, and it was really, really enjoyable to watch. I hope that he starts the left back. And it'll be interesting to see if Moyes decides to start Felipe Anderson as well. because I think he's taken a lot of confidence from this game, and hopefully he can carry that into the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Rich, would you play him? Would you play Masuaku as a flat back 4, or would you play him as a wing back behind Anderson against Arsenal?
It's a tricky one. Because I could see Moyes potentially playing 5 at the back and like 3 centre backs almost, and then playing Masuaku as a wing back. I think that might protect Masuaku more, because we all know that he's not the greatest when it comes to defending. So it might be worthwhile playing him as more of a wing back where he can get forward and look to overlap and integrate with the likes of Anderson. But it's so difficult to know what Moyes is going to do. I think in a flat back 4, Masuaku might struggle, especially against Arsenal.
Agreed. That's what I'd say. I play wing back, and on the flat back 3, I'd probably drop Rice back and play like Diop, Ogbonna, and Rice. And then have wing backs, and then maybe play Anderson, Bowen, and Soucek in midfield, and maybe send Antonio and Haller up top.
So, there's another player I want to talk about in defence, and that's Balbuena tonight. I mean, you can only see the back of his head there. The number 4, Balbuena, I mean, he performed well tonight. I mean, again, I just want to keep reminding people, yes, I know we played League One opposition, but it's going to do these players the world of good. And the last time I saw Balbuena play was the pre-season friendly against Ipswich, where he was in beside Alessi, and Alessi made him look like he was the youth player and Alessi was the professional player. But tonight, personally, I think he had a really good performance. What do you think of that?
I think it was strong. He held his own. He done well. I wouldn't be too upset if in future games, even against Arsenal, I'd see him come on instead of Diop.
Yeah,
I think he held his own. I wouldn't want to see him swap for the likes of Ogbonna, but for Diop, I think I wouldn't be upset as a West Ham fan. I wouldn't look at the team sheet and be like, "What is he doing? What is Moyes thinking about?" It would be a sensible swap to rest the player, or if someone was injured, or
I'll tell you what, though, what was nice was we've came out of this game 3-0 victory, and it was easily an opportunity for West Ham to stand on another banana skin and slip up against a lower league opposition. We've done it so many times in the past. So it's nice to be able to maybe move on from that banana skin and get through to the next round. I mean, the game itself was actually quite a decent game. Yarmolenko, I thought, played well. Was there a particular player for any of you guys that stood out being the worst player for West Ham? Was it Diop?
Yeah, Diop. Only because he's Diop trying to word it in a nice way. If he wasn't on the team sheet, you generally wouldn't have known he was playing. He didn't really do much,
Yeah.
Mainly because the midfielders were having such a good game. Lanzini, Anderson were coming back. They were defending. And then all of a sudden you'd see Diop and you're like, oh, Diop playing? Who's that? Oh, it is Diop.
Yeah.
So, I just think it's not that he went missing. It's just he probably wasn't needed as much as you'd think.
Dan, you were really impressed with Lanzini, were you not?
I was, yeah. I think it was the Lanzini before he was injured. His confidence was back. He was taking players on. He was going for tackles. He was trying to work his way around them. He wasn't looking at his feet. He had his head up, looking for the next maneuver with the ball. Should I pass it? Should I move on and cross it? His head was in the game.
Yeah.
Rather than the fear we've seen in the past.
Richard, we are coming to the end of the review, but something else that was positive from today was seeing a couple of the youth players come off the bench. So we got to see Harrison Ashby, and Connor Coventry. So Ashby's a Scotland under-19 international. They put him in a full-back position on the right-hand side, and he looked lively. He was on for what? Good 5, 8, 9 minutes, 10 minutes? He looked lively down there, did he not?
Yeah, definitely. He was making a couple of overlapping runs. He managed to get a cross in that we almost got on the end of. So it was great to see Moyes giving youngsters a chance. I think that would have been a really special moment for him to make his full West Ham debut, albeit in a cup competition. I'm sure it's something he'll never forget. And I thought he looked lively, as you said. And yeah, he was impressive. So hopefully it's the start of something bigger for him moving forward in a West Ham shirt.
Absolutely. Connor Coventry came on alongside him as well, Dan. I thought he kind of performed reasonably well in the middle of the park. In actual fact, they brought fresh legs. You know, you could make the point by saying, is it League One standard football that they had to play? But at the end of the day, it's still a competitive competition, and West Ham have got history of being slipping up, like I've said, against these types of teams. But we are through. What positives can you take from tonight, Dan?
It's a win. It's a confidence boost for the players. You know, as fans, we've seen a West Ham team win this season. We might not get to see too many for the next few weeks as we've got some hard games coming up. It's just nice to go out and get a comfortable win. Charlton, no disrespect for Charlton, they gave us a good game. You know, it wasn't a trouncing. You know, but to put 3 goals in for Haller to get a couple under his belt.
Yeah,
it was a game we needed. It was a game we needed.
Much needed confidence for Haller. I mean, he did look a little bit lively up top. I mean, again, opposition we were playing, but he did look lively. He was turning the ball. He was up for it. He was doing it against Ipswich as well. I think it's a no-brainer that he really needs to be in the limelight against Arsenal. Richard, what was your kind of most positive thing from tonight?
Yeah, just to add on to what Dan said, I think it was just the confidence that hopefully this result will give the players. Maybe it's just given them a little bit of belief that they might not have had earlier in the season. And it's just a win, as he said. I think, and the more wins you get, the more confidence the team gets. It was good to see some of the youth coming through. It was good that we could keep a clean sheet because we haven't done that in a really long time. So yeah, there are a lot of positives to take, and hopefully we can just carry even the smallest bit of momentum into the Arsenal game. If we had lost this game, I think it would have just been meltdown. You know, the West Ham fans would have been a meltdown. So it was good that we could get the win.
Absolutely. Listen, that's been our review. There's no point in us keeping you on. We've had you on all night, left, right, and centre through a match day live. Coming up this week, we've got Alf returning with either a West Ham oi oi, grumble, or confidential, depending on what mood he is in. There may be some transfer news specials coming up, depending if West Ham actually decide to put their hand in the pocket and try and get a move over the line. There's maybe news and maybe another story about the potential sale from the owners. We don't know. This is rumours kicking about left, right, and centre about the consortium that's making a little bit of a cheeky bid to West Ham and maybe starting negotiations. So we may come out to you with a video for that. And then obviously on Friday, make sure you check out the preview for the Arsenal game. Saturday, we're doing a match day live. And then Sunday, we'll lead perfectly on to the West Ham Weekly. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up. Keep the comments coming in. Guys, any last things you want to say before we head?
Subscribe, or I'm going to kick your doors in and eat all your hot dogs.
He's been Richard below me. He's been Dan. I've been Anton. This is Irons United. We're through to the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup. Let's go on a cup run, West Ham. Let's go on a cup run.
We're going to Wembley.
Go
on, you Irons.